The motion on the serve is like a throw. Everybody says, okay, it's like a throw. I'm going to demonstrate what the racket head should be doing with the golf club. So if you want to know how the momentum on the serve goes, it's this. So I take this club. Now watch. Okay, so the club swings naturally. So it goes down, I turn, and it comes back up over here on the side. But look how far I've had to turn to get it to go. It goes down, turn. Okay, so now watch. Don't do this with a golf club. You might hit yourself in the head with the golf. Okay, so like this, like that. See the motion? That's the motion of the serve. Now you can pretend like it's a throw, but the throw is the same thing. You just throw it, but you're still going through that same motion. Now, if you do it with a racket, the same motion, it's this. It's this. So I just take it down like that. See how it goes down? So it goes down, but see how far I have to open up my shoulders to be able, so it comes up on itself, by itself. See that? That's unbelievable. Okay. That is your serve. That's the basis of a serve. The rest of it is toss. And you can decide what kind of serve you want by your toss. Okay, so I can toss the ball out in front. And now what I'm doing, this is the pronation. The thing is, let me just talk about spin first. I'm holding the racket like a hammer. Now, if you're just beginning, you might want to turn it to almost flat and you're still doing the same thing on the backswing, but you don't have to figure out the twist. But as you get better, you get more towards like you're hammering in a nail. That's a continental grip. So it's like this. So now to hit it flat, I've got to turn it over. So I'm going like this, and then I turn it over, but I got to keep it to my back, and then I flip it over. That's how you hit it flat. But you use the continental grip like this, and then you can learn all the spins. So if I don't want to hit it flat, I'm going to hit just a side spin. I'm just going to toss it low out to the right and hit side spin. And that's something to start with. Just see how much spin you can put on the ball. And what you're trying to do is bypass the ball. And the only reason you pronate is to keep from hurting your wrist. So you go bypass the ball, then you pronate. I'm going to hit side spin, and then I flip it. Side spin, and then I flip it. And I talk a little higher, and then you hit more of top spin. Top spin is like 3/4 of the spin. So if I go a little higher, up, I didn't bypass the ball. Like that. Then if you want to go over there, but it's the same swing. It's not, the worst thing you can do is think of reaching. You don't want to think of reaching. All I'm doing is I have to lean back a little bit. But it's the same. It's like the same with the golf club. If I'm hitting spin, I'm just doing this. But it's the same motion. So I do this with this. And that's the one thing about it I can put. The other thing is I hold at the end of the handle. One of the things I can't stand, but if you can't do it any other way, is I can't stand somebody that holds the rack grip up here. Because then they're just gripping it, and it looks like, it takes away from the flip. And they get to, I can do it that way. Not bad. But I like the looseness of the wrist when you hold it here, because the serve is something you don't want to control, you want to flip. It's a flip. But it's the same motion. I haven't talked about the feet, but the feet, there's basically two types of feet. They're the ones that like Federer and what's the Sampras. They've popularized this. They just bend right here. They're on 2 feet. Who's the guy from Australia? Kyrgios. That's the guy I like to serve. What I like is if you bring this foot up and you jump out into the court, now you're closer to the person you're serving to, and if you can do that, then and you keep your height. So you go like this. See, I'm way into the court, but you can stay back. It doesn't matter. Feet is preference. The worst thing you can do is when you toss the ball up is bend over at the waist. That's what's wrong with. Who's the girl? Yeah, what's her name? Coco. That's what's wrong with Coco. She does all these great serves, but she goes like this. She bends over at the waist. It's ridiculous. Even when you hit a spin serve, you got to stay up. Got to keep your shoulder. You got to stay up. If you can't jump, and there's nothing wrong with staying on the ground, because if you stay on the ground, it's just like a baseball pitcher. He can generate a whole lot of swing, a lot of torque, just staying on the ground. You don't have to jump if you don't. So I can stand here and still, I can hit the ball harder staying on the ground. So if it doesn't make sense to jump, don't jump. Okay, I'm going to talk about the toss. Got to talk about the toss. All right, toss. When you toss the ball, you're not tossing the ball. You're placing the ball. You want to place it where you want to, whatever you want to hit it, whatever spin you want to hit it. If you want to hit flat spin, it doesn't matter. But I'm placing it. I lift my arm above my head before I release it. And you only toss it about 18 inches. Here's what's ridiculous. That's what you see on TV. They go. And now it's like an overhead. They got to judge it coming down. But if you toss the ball, just right out of your hand, and you notice I got my racket up. I got to talk about that. It's right out of your hand. See, this is one of the worst problems we got right now. There's two of the biggest problems. One of them is they toss the ball up as the racket's down here. Okay. Now what you're trying to do the least amount of motion in the longest period of time. So what they're doing is for them to be able to get up, go down, turn, and around, they've got to throw it 45 feet in the air because they're starting down here. So you always want to start your serve up here. So that's all it is, right out here. So when you take it up, it's just like this 9-iron. What? You go, this has got to be up. This is going up even before or during or at the same time as the ball. So it's like this. So what? And notice I'm going forward. When I do that, the weight's going forward. So it's like this. But I'm up here. I think that's it.